There's a fancy apartment complex in New York City known as the Tower, and its penthouse belongs to Wall Street billionaire Arthur. After a night swim in the rooftop pool, he continues his online chess game with Josh, the building manager. In the morning, Josh is on his way to work when he runs into Slide, who scolds him for walking on his side of the street. Josh ignores him, which only makes Slide angrier. At the Tower, Josh and doorman Lester walk Arthur to his car. Arthur says he likes them so much that he may bring them to work at the hotel he plans to open. Later, general manager Simon tells Josh that his brother-in-law Charlie isn't at the reception desk and must arrive within 3 minutes. Josh notices Leonko studying for her bar exam and tells her to do it on her break, but she pretends she isn't studying. Josh then hears buzzing, and Enrique apologizes for leaving his phone on vibrate. Simon explains Enrique is the new elevator operator, so Josh lays out the rules. No tips, no phones, and full attention to tenants. Charlie finally arrives 20 minutes late, panicking because his pregnant wife is in her 3rd trimester. Yet he isn't worried about losing his job. He proves himself by impressing an Asian tenant with flowers and speaking Chinese. Josh later visits Fitsu, reminding him he's been evicted and the bank is coming tomorrow. Fitsu admits he lost his job and no one will help him. So Josh buys him time by telling the bank the elevator is under maintenance. After the shift, Lester tells Josh this will be his last year before retirement. The next morning, Josh sees Slide causing a public argument on the street. At work, Josh notices Arthur's car is still there, and a black sedan parked across the street for 2 days. Lester says he's already called the cop, but just then some men step out of the car. Josh and Lester suspect a robbery, and Lester locks the doors while Josh announces a code black. Checking security footage, Josh notices a laundry van out back, which is unusual since pickup was yesterday. An assistant explains Arthur requested it after spilling wine. Suddenly, the men force Arthur into the van. Josh realizes it's a kidnapping and tells security to call 911, but the van crashes through the gate. Josh chases it before being tackled by Agent Claire. The van crashes, FBI agents surround Arthur, and Claire explains it wasn't a kidnapping. Arthur was trying to flee because he's wanted. News breaks that Arthur is arrested for fraud and his assets are frozen. Josh gathers the staff and explains Arthur managed their pensions, meaning the money is likely gone. Arthur is later released on a $10 million bail under house arrest, and Claire informs Josh the penthouse now belongs to the FBI. Inside, she's shocked to see a Ferrari. Arthur explains it once belonged to Steve McQueen and was reassembled inside the apartment. He tries to tip Josh, but Josh reminds him of the no-tips rule. On his way home, Josh sees Slide being arrested. Later, Charlie calls him urgently, and Josh rushes to the hospital, learning Lester tried to kill himself after losing his retirement money to Arthur. Josh promises Arthur will repay him. Back at the Tower, Josh meets Fitsu, now fully evicted and divorced. Fitsu explains Arthur likely knew his business was doomed a year ago and took Lester's money to keep up appearances. Josh and Charlie reach the penthouse by claiming they're collecting Arthur's trash and breakfast. Josh confronts Arthur, who insists the FBI is lying. Furious, Josh smashes the Ferrari with a golf club. Simon fires Josh, Charlie, and Enrique. Josh says goodbye to the staff, then admits to Charlie he always wanted him fired, pointing out he even spoke Chinese to a Korean woman. Charlie storms off. Later, Josh meets Claire at a bar and gives her information about Arthur, but she explains the FBI already has it, and the bank will likely seize everything, leaving almost no chance the employees will recover their money. A disappointed Josh decides to leave, but Claire invites him for drinks. They end up getting drunk, and Claire explains that criminals like Arthur often keep emergency money hidden somewhere in case they're caught. She mentions that the FBI noticed $20 million missing from Arthur's account a few months ago and wonders where it could be, sparking an idea in Josh. The next day, Josh returns to the Tower, but a guard tries to stop him. He says he only forgot something and reminds the guard he has dirt on him. In his office, Josh retrieves his notebook and reviews notes about a safe. After stopping at a store to study that specific safe model, he goes looking for Enrique, Charlie, and Fitsu to hold a special meeting. At Josh's place, he explains that Arthur bought a safe years ago and later remodeled the apartment, taking down every wall except one. The safe must be behind that wall, which explains why the FBI didn't find it. Josh believes the missing $20 million is in that safe and asks for their help. Enrique and Fitsu agree immediately, but Charlie hesitates, pointing out that none of them know anything about stealing. Josh reassures him, insisting he has a solution. Meanwhile, Sly is surprised to learn someone paid his bail. When he comes out, he finds Josh waiting and offering him a ride. An annoyed Sly steps on the gas, demanding to know why Josh helped him after ignoring him for so long. Josh maneuvers around other vehicles and red lights before finally stopping the car and revealing that he and Slide went to the same daycare as kids. Slide takes a few minutes to remember, then mocks Josh for his seizures. Their argument continues until Josh explains his plan. At the mall, the group meets with Josh, but Slide isn't impressed, saying 3 random dudes will be useless in a heist. Josh defends them, so Slide gives them 15 minutes to prove themselves by stealing something. Each goes to a different store, pretending to shop while keeping employees distracted and hiding items in their clothes. They successfully bring the items to Slide, who is impressed and agrees to work with them. He also reveals that he emptied their wallets earlier. Later, the group meets on a snowy rooftop. Slide doesn't allow jackets, explaining that during a robbery, conditions can change quickly and they must adapt. He gives them bobby pins and has them practice lockpicking. Josh explains they must also find a way to bypass cameras, the doorman, guards, and other employees. They observe a restaurant near the tower to study guard and police movements. Fitzu worries about affording lunch, but Slide uses a roach to get a free meal. With this information, Josh models the heist with Lego. Slide will hide the money for a week to avoid suspicion, as he is not connected to the tower, but Enrique distrusts him. When Slide points a gun at Enrique, Josh calms him down, reminding him that the heist has a no-guns rule. At that moment, Claire and 2 cops arrive. The others panic and hide while Josh goes to the door. Claire informs him that the judge is likely to dismiss the case next week, but Arthur wants to press charges for the Ferrari. However, Arthur will drop the matter if Josh apologizes. Josh apologizes at the penthouse, and Arthur accepts, smugly implying he has made a strategic chess move. Later, Claire surprises Josh with footage of him destroying the car, which she illegally obtained to help him. Josh asks her out on Saturday, and Claire accepts. Back home, his friends scold him for dating an FBI agent while planning a crime. Slide mentions he cannot crack Arthur's modern safe, so Josh calls Odessa, a maid whose father was a locksmith. She confirms she can open it in 15 minutes and teaches Slide. The next day, Josh and Fitzu watch Charlie enter the tower. Josh confronts him afterward, and Charlie reveals Simon offered him the building manager job. He refuses to help and threatens to call the police if Josh continues with the heist. Meanwhile, Claire is called to the penthouse and learns the court date has been moved to Thanksgiving. Arthur plans to press charges against Josh after the hearing, and Claire warns him that he will be arrested by the weekend. Josh is secretly pleased, as this was all part of his plan. On the big day, streets are closed for a parade, and Lester is working again. Claire and the agents take Arthur out for his hearing. Odessa signals Josh once they are gone. Enrique steals Charlie's wife's phone from the subway, bringing it to Josh. The group worries when Slide hasn't shown up, but Josh sees him wearing a suit and heading to the tower. Slide intends to steal the money himself, but still plans to continue with the group's plan. Using his sister's phone, Josh texts Charlie, saying the baby is on the way. Charlie leaves the tower, clearing the way for the heist to proceed. The security guards get distracted by a Playboy magazine featuring a tenant. Odessa stages a co-worker's birthday with a cake, and as everyone sings and steps outside for balloons, Josh, Enrique, and Fitzu slip in unnoticed. Meanwhile, Slide pretends to be a bank employee and convinces Simon to let him into Fitzu's old apartment. Josh's team heads for the elevator, but with Simon and Slide inside first, they take the stairs. In Fitzu's apartment, Slide asks Simon for a tour. When Simon enters a closet, Slide locks him in and turns on a radio to mask sounds. He climbs the elevator shaft to escape. Odessa sedates a cake slice and goes to the penthouse. The guard declines it due to a chocolate allergy, so she knocks him out with her maid cart. Josh's team shuts off the elevator in the machine room, climbs to the penthouse, grabs items from Odessa's cart, puts on masks, covers cameras, and taps the walls until they find a hollow section. They break it open to reveal the safe. Slide shows up with a gun, but Josh doesn't back down. Odessa surprises him from behind, forcing him to drop it, and Fitzu grabs it. Odessa begins cracking the safe. Charlie returns, suspicious of his wife's text, and assumes the unconscious guard is sleeping. At the courthouse, Claire and Arthur discover a holiday has halted work, realizing fake documents misled them. Streets block their return. Odessa opens the safe. It's empty. Slide struggles for his gun, firing accidentally and hitting a car. Josh inspects it and realizes it's fully gold. Fitzu calculates its worth at $4 million. Josh quickly devises a new plan. Enrique lowers the rooftop crane while Josh and Slide remove the penthouse window glass to push the car to the edge. They secure it to the crane, lowering it toward Fitzu's old apartment. Fitzu freezes with fear. As Fitzu grabs the rope, wind pushes the car, leaving him dangling. He slips, but Charlie catches him just in time. Josh and Slide climb into the swinging car, while Charlie and Fitzu hold the hook steady. Enrique operates the crane, and they maneuver the car into the apartment. Charlie scolds Josh, but changes his mind upon seeing the gold. They plan how to fit the car in the elevator, and Charlie devises a better idea. Enrique restarts the elevator just beneath the penthouse. Josh finds a notebook detailing Arthur's illegal dealings inside the car. A tenant asks for help with her dog, so Charlie takes the puppy away. Claire's driver finds an alternate route as the team positions the car on the elevator, which starts descending. The dog jumps and Josh catches it. Enrique warns that security has regained control. In the lobby, Arthur and agents enter, reversing the elevator. The car hits a grill but halts safely. Josh calls Lester to retrieve Slide's stolen truck. Claire notices the open safe, realizing Arthur didn't report it, a parole violation. Agents see Lester drive through the shutter. The FBI chases him, scattering the parade crowd. Lester reaches a blocked street. The truck is empty, serving as a distraction. The FBI rounds up the team during daily routines. Josh is handcuffed but reassures Claire the dinner reservation is real. Arthur demands his car back, threatening prison, but Josh shows him the notebook. When Arthur tries to buy it, Enrique reminds him they don't accept bribes. Simon continues screaming in the closet. At FBI headquarters, Leveco interrupts, announcing she will represent the team. She shows the notebook and negotiates their release. The agents agree, sparing everyone except Josh, who takes a 2-year sentence as a first-time offender. Media outlets confirm Arthur's guilt. The team returns to the tower, hiding the gold car in the rooftop pool. Arthur goes to prison, while Charlie enjoys time with his newborn. Later, each employee receives a gold piece from the car. In prison, Josh smiles at his victory. Like and subscribe for more recaps like this.